Alright, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Cyberpunk 2077 video on the daily. You can expect these. And today, 5 things missing from the base game. And some of them are things that CD Projekt either teased or promised we were going to get, and then either took it out or they're just nowhere to be found. And honestly, it's kind of disappointing because I love the game and it's so awesome. And yes, I know people put so much hype into this game that it was going to be the greatest thing ever, and of course no game can live up to the crazy hype that this one had, but still there's some stuff here like you know what, for an RPG of this caliber there should be more meat here, you know. And again, I want to preface this by saying this is my favorite game of the year, one of my favorites of all time, okay? So let me just say that, but here are some things missing from Cyberpunk 2077. First up, we're starting off with a bang. Car customization. Yeah, and this is a weird one because CDPR confirmed it a while back and then they took it out of the game, which I mean, I guess we can see why. Maybe it was related to the bugs and stuff. They're like, okay, we don't want to deal with a whole other mechanic here, we got to take this out. But this is pretty disappointing because usually most big AAA open world games, RPGs, are really built on customization. And honestly, dude, like with the amount of awesome futuristic cars here, how disappointing is it that we can't go in and mess with them a bunch? And I know you can do it to the tiniest degree, but it's like it's not enough. And dude, it's just really disappointing because if there was one game, tell me one game where you could customize your car and you would want to do it really badly, it would be this one, wouldn't it? Like other than like a racing game, because of the futuristic elements, the fact you can throw like 8 wheels on the same car and stuff, and all the different bulletproof glass and stuff you could have, like you can't tell me that that wouldn't have been a dream come true to be able to customize your cars to your liking. And it's really disappointing to me, and I was kind of heartbroken because I was so sucked into the story I didn't even realize this until a commenter brought it up to me. I was like, okay, I'll customize my cars later, but now that I know that it's not really even in the game, heartbreaking, man. Number 2 is more romance options. Now, look, I'm not big on the romance. I haven't really been doing it too much. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I've been going for Pan Am a little bit. But like, for each orientation, there is only one main story character that you can have a romance with. And some of them are like side characters. But like, for example, Pan Am, if you're a straight man. And then if you're a girl, Judy is an option. And there's another guy too that I haven't met yet, but I know about, so I don't want to spoil the story for myself. And then you can go down to Jig Jig Street and you can grab a girl or something and you can have a little fling there too. But those are the only options. And for an RPG this big, especially how CDPR was selling it, I really thought there was going to be really a ton of options for this, you know? I really thought so. I didn't think we were going to be down bad like this, you know what I mean? And it's not really the fact that, okay, we only have this one person. It's just the fact that for an RPG where the choices and the decisions you make are supposed to like influence almost everything, and you're supposed to have several different outcomes and ways of doing things, I just thought it would be more fleshed out. And it just feels like we're kind of boxed in this area, and it just feels like restricted, you know, which is what you shouldn't really feel for an RPG. Number 3, it's the NPCs, man. Oh my god. Honestly, this and the population density, probably my biggest disappointments for the game. Alright? Because the NPCs, CDPR, they advertised it for months. This is going to be an RPG where everybody has dedicated routines. It feels lived in. There's so many different NPCs that have routines and feel alive. And it's just not really like that. I mean, they feel like filler, you know, kind of just to fill up dead space. And then you go up to them and they have one throwaway line of dialogue and then just forget about them. Sometimes they'll just disappear into thin air. Okay, and I'm not talking about pop in. They'll just kind of disappear. That's what I mean by like they're filler. They're just for show, which to me is hugely disappointing, especially when you look at a game like Red Dead Redemption 2. Like every NPC you follows has different routines. Some different people work. They have different attitudes and friends, and they just go about different activities. That was so immersive and intricate, and I love that so much. But here, and I'm so sad to say it, they just kind of feel like cardboard cutouts there to fill up space. Truly. Up next, The cops. The cops were another thing. They were supposed to be chasing you down and setting up like crime scenes, non-scripted ones, because there are crime scenes, but they're pretty scripted. And everything the cops do are scripted. I haven't even seen just a cop walking around in the street. Like, I saw that in the original Saints Row in 2006. There's cops walking down the street, and there's like spontaneous crimes for them to attend to. Everything I've seen with cops here are either they spawn in out of nowhere when you commit a crime, or they're in scripted events. So to me, that is really disappointing. I thought the cops were going to be super intricate, and yes, that is tied to the NPCs, but the cops, especially Night City cops, the way this city was advertised, it's like, oh, there's so much crime, it's grimy and dirty, and the cops are really on the ball here. I thought we were going to get some revolutionary, innovative police cops and a police system in this game, and I was so excited for it. And again, they're just kind of like cardboard cutouts unless you commit a crime, and then they turn into God mode, pretty much. And lastly, I want to mention the side activities. Oh, dude, this one. Okay, and I'm not talking about side missions, okay? Because those are the best I've seen in gaming, period. But things like street racing and boxing are in the game, but they're tied to missions. They're tied to either a side mission or a main mission, and that's disappointing, man. I honestly thought we were going to go in and be able to just go do a bunch of side activities for money. And thankfully, I mean, there's so many side missions that are so interesting and engaging and fun to do. But as far as just side activities go, I'm a sucker for those. I love, spontaneous boxing for money. If we could have our own little fight club, even Watch Dogs Legion, the fight club there was actually not too bad. I enjoyed that. But for me, other than Cyberpunk and The Witcher, because I put those two kind of together because they're the same developer, even though they're totally different, don't get me wrong, Red Dead Redemption 2, again, to me that's an RPG, and it's the best one I've played. I love Red Dead 2, and things like fishing, hunting, that you could just do spontaneously. That should be here in some capacity, and of course it won't be those two activities because you're in 2077, but imagine the futuristic spin they could have taken with side activities. I think, dude, it's so incredible. And I know there's still room for this stuff because they're going to be giving us a bunch of free DLC, which, bless you, CD Projekt Red, for giving that to us. Thank you so much. And that gives them the opportunity to maybe add in some of this stuff that I'm talking about here, I mean, first of all, they got to fix the game, okay? They got to fix everything, all the issues going on with the game. That's priority number one. But then with the DLCs, I think one of them is like already close to being done or was supposed to be released in early 2021, but who knows with the delays these guys do. But that gives them the chance to really add in stuff like side activities, and maybe can you tweak the NPCs a bit and like give us some more romance options and stuff like that too. That's where this stuff could really come in and shine. But yeah, guys, that's my list. 5 biggest things I think are missing from the game that I wish were here. What are yours? Let me know and leave it in the comments down below. I might make a part 2 to this video. Really interesting stuff. And let me know what other content you want to see from Cyberpunk. I'm all ears. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.